Hey y'all, I'm just sitting here watching some of the people that I'm subscribed to and checking on everybody and stuff like that. I have my surgery today at 11 o'clock. Um, I ain't been up too long, but I'm still just drinking water, trying to make sure that everything is out, even though it don't feel like everything is out right now. Um, yeah, but what's today? Today is the 11th. Today is my surgery. Um, but we're gonna start out this morning as we usually do, with the word from my 365-day devotional daily strength for women, and the word today is poverty. Okay, so one who is gracious to a poor man lends to the Lord, and He will repay him for his good deed. So that's blessings on blessings, you know. Um, as I said before, God judges us by relationships with other people and, how we live in our everyday lives, because He knows what's really in your heart. Okay. And it goes on to say, people can be poor in many ways. In our environment, we may not come across true poverty or see homeless people in our day to day lives, but there are those who suffer from poverty of joy, of hope, and love. Then there are those around you, even today, who are hurting from their lack of being loved by someone or suffering from despair. Ask the Holy Spirit to show you those who are poor in spirit and find a way to bring grace into their situation. It might be practical help, a kind word, or an invitation out for coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Let the grace that dwells in you be poured out on those around you, and know that your Heavenly Father will be overjoyed that you are sharing His love. So, in what ways and forms have you seen poverty in the people around you? Consider the days that you can lend to the poor. I do that a lot anyway. Not right now because I'm so broke. I don't have my own place because I used to cook for the homeless, and look at me, I'm homeless. um, I think when I first, I don't want to say homeless because I had a place to lay my head, but uh, when I first got out there, like in my SUV life, I used to be trying to help all of my other homeless friends. Like I forgot that I was homeless, and it just feels good when you can help somebody else. It does because there's so many people out here that don't care about people, and I like to tell um, people about this funny uh, thing that happened to me. It was this homeless guy, and he was sleeping in. He was laying down in a parking spot with a blue tarp over him. I wouldn't even known that he was there if I didn't see like his toe or his foot or something like that. Anybody that's just driving the way he was, like you couldn't see that it's somebody there unless you got like really, really close. I mean, he's literally laying in the parking spot, so anybody could just ran over him. You know what I mean? So that was the first thing to let me know that he was crazy. Um, the second thing, once I found out that it was a person there, I was like, oh my God. And my heart just poured out and I just felt bad for them. And I was like, well, they cold. Maybe I can go get them a blanket or a jacket or something to eat or whatever. And at this time, I was homeless too, but I had my SUV, and it was early in the morning, and so um, I went back to my storage, and I got one of my favorite jackets. It's a Marvel jacket. It's black and white, and I got a lot of like clothes and shoes and stuff like that because I wasn't always homeless or in the state that I am in now. And I was like, let me go get something for this man, a coat or something or whatever. And then I went to like either McDonald's or Burger King, somewhere I went, or Wendy's or whatever, I don't remember. But I had got him something to eat and coffee or whatever. And I just felt like I couldn't just pass this person up and keep on going if I could do something to help the person. So, and I've always been like that, and that's got me in trouble sometimes, but most of the time, you know, it feels good. Anyway, let me try to get on with this. I was telling somebody else about this situation, and they was like, "I wouldn't have gave him nothing." Blah 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 blah. And I'm gonna tell you why they said this, but it was just like, okay. First of all, like all my degrees have to do with people and applied behavioral science, understanding why people behave that they do. So, with that being said, I already, been assessing the situation already. Number one, you land in a parking lot, in a parking space, covered up with a tarp where people can't even really see you, and they might just pull in and run you over. You know what I mean? So that right there let me know that this person got some stuff going on. Okay. Um, they was covered up with a tarp and they didn't have any socks on or a jacket. So that let me know that they need some help, because it was cold during this time, because sometimes it get cold in Florida, and yeah. So I came back and I pulled, like to the right of them, you know, and I was like, hey, hey, yo. Of course, I couldn't blow my horn because I had my horn disconnected because this girl kept trying to break into my car that I was renting the room from, and she kept setting up my alarm, and it was disturbing people, like in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to keep going outside to cut it off, and it just didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? But I figured out who it was. But anyway, yeah, and so I was like, hey, hey, and then he he pulled the tarp back, and he looked up, and he was looking crazy as hell, like I think he was Cuban or something. And he was like, "Hey, you got money? You got money?" I was like, "No." I said, "You need to. You shouldn't be laying in this parking spot because somebody could run you over. I barely saw you, you know." And he was like, "Fuck you! I fuck you! Give me money!" And I was like, "Okay." So he's like crazy, and I was like, "Do you need a jacket?" He's like, throw it on the floor. That's how he was talking to me. He was talking to me like he was uh, robbing me or something. But because I am a professional, uh, I knew that he's a little touched for whatever reason. This man done went through some shit. Obviously, he's sleeping in the parking lot under a tarp. And oh, and another thing, he was talking like he was on the phone, but I don't know. I don't know if that phone was really on or he was just having conversations with himself or whatever. I mean, I can only speculate from what the things that I had already seen. And I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, throw it on the ground, throw it on the ground. And I'm like, and I felt conflicted, because this is like, it was one of my favorite jackets, and I know he crazy, but at the same time, you better take this jacket, take care of this jacket. Don't be playing with me, okay? Because otherwise. And so I threw it on the ground, and he said, okay, now give me money. I said, I ain't got no damn money for you. I gave you the jacket. I said, you better pick it up off that damn ground. I said, is you hungry? He said, no, no, give me money. I was like, you know what? Okay, bet. I was like, you better pick that damn jacket up. And then I drove off and went back to like my storage. I gave him the jacket and I think like one of my throw blankets or whatever. And I felt so violated. I mean, a little bit, but at the same time, it was an experience. It was an experience, where you actually, have to deal with some of America's really like mentally ill or schizophrenic population and stuff like that up close and personal. And I was just like, wow. And because he only looked like he was about, uh, like probably like in his 30s or something, late 30s, early 40s. And I know some people, they like ask themselves, what happened to that individual to make them like they are right now? And the first thing you need to know is don't ever think that it can't happen to you. Um, the second thing is life. And I think a lot, like with schizophrenics, um, they just had so much going on in their head and their mind, or depression or isolation, because isolation messed with my memory. So I know that firsthand. Um, and at some point in their lives, they couldn't handle life, and their mind kind of slipped away from them. Whatever makes them who they are, they couldn't handle it, and they kind of separated themselves from reality to a degree. And because they've been affected, they they can't handle it, and they don't really know what they're doing half the time when they do the things that they do. I was interviewed by a human resources professional for child support, um, and she was schizophrenic. And I don't know how she got by as long as she did in that professional position without anyone mentioning, you know, about her extra issues. And I guess because just like I witnessed it, um, I didn't say anything, but I was just like, wow. Because this lady, she was interviewing me for child support, to get child support, and she was having a conversation with someone who was not there. Every time she stopped asking me a question, when she turned around to record my answers or whatever, she would face in another direction and talk to what she thought was there. And I was sitting there witnessing this, like, and then she just turned right back around to me like it was nothing. And she'd be like, and how long has he stayed at that address? Like, I answer her or whatever. Then she'd turn back around and she'd be like, so what are you planning on doing about it? Are you going to do anything about it? Well, that's why you're going through the things that you're going through right now, because you're not doing anything about it. You're just letting them just taunt you and talk. And she would talk to someone that was not there, having a deep uh, conversation. Um, it's not. It's it's real. Like people are really out here um, going through um, mental health issues while they're young, or just from different events that happen in their life. I'm fighting for my life. I went through a lot of mental health issues from the time I was a child to the time I became an adult, from the time that I was in that relationship for over a decade. And, you know, I'm still trying to heal right now, you know? And I have surgery today. I've been trying to make sure my colon is clear so I don't have to repeat this again. um, but yeah, so to first off, for like America to combat like the homeless problem, because people that are homeless have other mental health issues, because the whole situation of being homeless is stressful in itself, you know, and depending on what they've been through and what they've had to go through to maintain maybe just shelter for a night, because everybody that's homeless don't have a vehicle. And you know, I was homeless at 13, sleeping in abandoned buildings in Chicago. um, and I, I've experienced a lot of bad, creepy stuff, you know. Um, but my journey from the time I was, say, 10, all the way up until like I am now, like 52 years old, um, I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot, I know a lot, and that's why it's important that you trust in God, because you can't trust in people, because people will always change, they will always disappoint. But God's love is not going to change. It's going to stay the way it is, which is forever. And forever not changing and probably just getting better, you know. And people, they disappoint, they lie, they steal, they cheat. You know, you can't trust in the flesh, you can't trust in people, you gotta trust in God, period. Um, I remember someone told me I couldn't be a child of God because I smoked weed. Okay, and to that I say, don't let nobody tell you that you're not worthy of God's grace, because He wants you to come as you are. You know, we sinners. It's a whole lot of worse things out there than somebody smoking weed. Don't judge nobody because you see them differently. But I also wanted to talk about the misery on YouTube. I'm tripping. That's why I had walked away from YouTube a while ago. But I've been on YouTube since 2011. So don't, and anybody that been on my channel that's been rocking with me for like over a decade know that um I'm me all the time, 24/7. I'm in competition with no one, and I just feel like a lot of y'all would be better off if y'all stop focusing on everybody else and what they got going on, and focus more on yourself. Um, because Y'all on YouTube with the drama, like really thinking somebody really worried about somebody and what they think about your channel or your lifestyle or whatever. Anybody know when you go on social media on a public platform, you're gonna have a lot of people that like you and maybe a lot of people that don't like you. Whatever the reason is, you give them power when you respond to it or you focus on it and stuff like that. Um, because I've been reading more and more of the word and trying to take from that and change the way I react to certain situations as well because I have a bad temper and I'm quick to, you know, I don't argue very well. I just start swinging. So I've been reading the word because I know, the things that I need help with, I have to find out as much as I can about them and so I can work on it. So I trust in God, I trust in the Lord, so I'm trusting the word. So with that being said, if it's something that I need help with, no matter what it is, my stomach's still growling. I'm gonna keep on drinking this water. No matter what that is, if it's help to stop cursing, because I curse, um, help to, whatever you need help with, help to learn how to be more submissive, help to learn how to control your temper, being slow to anger. And so I look at a lot of stuff about the stuff that I personally feel that will make me a better me. So that's what I do. Um, and just because I'm deep in the word and I smoke weed or have a TikTok channel doesn't mean that I'm not a child of God and nobody is going to take my grace or my praise or my fellowship, none of that away. Me and him, we good. So I just really think that people need to start focusing more on what they're here to do. And when you focus on what you're here to do, then you won't be so worried about what the next person doing or what the next person thinking, you know? Because a lot of people that's on here, they've been here for decades, like me. And so I'm just saying, oh, this water working. I'm just saying, make the most of it. Do you, whatever that is. My channel, I did everything: cooking, acting, reborn down, making, doing hair, make videos with my grandkids, um, reading the word, ranting if I'm mad, whatever it is that I wanted to do, that's what I did. That's what I do on my channel. I do me. I don't have to do anyone else. There's nothing anyone else is doing like me. I mean, whereas, like I don't think people on here, like, I've just never experienced it, but I don't think people on here really like be, uh, you know, copying other people. I mean, that sounds really like, childlike or whatever. Now, I think we learn from each other sometimes because you can learn from a child. You know what I mean? You can learn from a person that's schizophrenic. You can learn from a person that's miserable. I mean, you can learn from anybody. You can learn a lesson from anybody. And I think that people that live the van life, the SUV life, the car life, they're doing things that are similar anyway because it's they live in a vehicle. So I don't think that one person that lives in a car, trying to copy somebody else that live in a van or something like that. I mean, your journey is your journey and your journey alone. You know what I'm saying? If there is some other individual or something that you really, really, and I don't know how you would know that unless they told you they were that. They said something obviously to you, but I just don't believe in um, that back and forth stuff. Like when I was more immature or um, not where I'm at now, like in my life, like I said, I had to learn how to be slow to anger, like because I know um, when you let somebody get a rise out of you, then you giving them power, and I don't have nobody is gonna have power over me or my emotions. I like to be in control of my emotions and not let my emotions control me. And when you do that, then that shows another level of maturity. So um, I think that some of y'all just doing too much. And I think you should just relax and, you know, be comfortable and continue to do you regardless of what you think anyone thinks. And whatever that is, whether it's just sitting there, just, you know, whatever you be doing, just do that. Don't worry about, because for you to know or for you to even think that somebody else is doing something similar to what you're doing, which wouldn't be uncommon because for people that live the car life, the van life, the SUV life, or whatever, we all do a lot of the same things. But so I don't know. I think it's just about maturity and stuff like that because I'm not gonna be controlled by what another person think about me or feel about me or say about me because just because person say it don't make it true. You know what I mean? Like some of us have uh, real lives like that we have outside of social media, and I would never uh, get into that drama stuff on social media because ain't none of that paying my rent, and it's just stupid. That's just stupid. Do what you do, and don't worry about nobody else, and keep it moving. That's all. But all this y'all be doing, like, and I know I'm not really judging anybody. I'm just saying relax, because I done did that stuff before. Like responded back to people that said stuff about me and stuff like that, and you have more power in silence than you do in going back and forth with somebody. Your silence is so powerful, and some of us just need to learn how to just shut up and just do you, and just if you feeling some kind of way about something, just pray about it, and don't give them people power and stuff like that there, because your situation is different from their situation, and the person might do something that's similar to something that you did or something, but they probably live a van life too. So it's not uncommon. How many people make videos about how I use the bathroom or how I take my showers or whatever? I done did that. Show my weed sprayer that I turned into a shower. Everybody come up with ideas. Some of us come up with similar ideas. But the point is, focus on what you're doing, then you won't have time to get into that drama about what somebody else is doing because it's just immature. And and this I'm only saying this because I've seen about 3 videos within the last 2 days of people ranting about what the next person got going on. Like y'all need to chill out, relax, because it's not that serious. Like do what you're doing. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing. I don't. I do me all the time. That it's easier for me to do me than to do anybody else. I wouldn't want to be anybody else. I love me. um, And a lot of this is a learning experience. You learn from doing. You know what I'm saying? So just have fun, keep it moving, or whatever, you know. And I'm finna get off of here because I gotta pee again. I'm drinking all this water to prepare for my surgery. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Be safe. Have fun. Pray. And that's it. That's all you can do is be you. Bye.